Oh, Rusty Warren. Oh, hi, Broad City. I have a new episode of Comic Reviews of Fate, and it's, as normal, brought to you by my own comic book series, Red Knight. Issues 1 through 7 are available at Manos Publishing at Etsy.com and at PrimalPaperComics.com. Check them out. The links are below. I don't have the copy on me to flash, but I'm sure you've seen it before. Now, we have, let's see, how many comics do I have this week? I have 5. One came out last week, but everything else is new for this week. So let's actually start with the one from last week. And that would be Moon Knight, #1 by Warren Ellis. And who's the artist on this? Declan Shalvey? I'm not familiar with his work, but I will get into it in just a moment. Now, here is a quick explanation of my history with Moon Knight and my knowledge and experience with the character. Now, with that said, I was very interested in this book. Actually, to be honest, I've always found Moon Knight fascinating. I have recently discovered I do not own one copy of one issue of any of the Moon Knight comics that have come out over the last 30-some years, which is weird. I don't know. He's just always a character I've been meaning to get into, but just never did happen. I always found his story and costume fascinating. So once this came around, I decided to jump into it. I actually was interested in the Brian Michael Bendis series that was just recently canceled. Didn't last very long. But I really didn't care for the idea of him having multiple personalities that included people he knows, like Spider-Man and Wolverine and Captain America. I really didn't. That premise didn't sound very interesting to me. Well, anyway, he's exercised, apparently, those super friends from his persona. And Mark Spector, just to bring you up to speed, actually, I like the way it brings you up to speed in the first paragraph on the first issue. Mercenary Mark Spector died in Egypt under a statue of the ancient deity Khonsu, I believe it's pronounced. He returned to life in the shadow of the moon god, where he wore his aspect to fight crime for his own redemption. He went completely insane and disappeared. Here's what happened next. And that's pretty much all you need to really know about the character, frankly. Let's see. It opens with, someone following his actions. I'm sure we'll get to her in future issues. But right now, we kind of jump into his current status quo, whereas he is helping out the police, almost in a advisory kind of mode. He's driving around in his Moon Knight mobile, which is a giant-ass prom limo, with some cool details, like it has a robotic driver, not real robot, the car, just like a Knight 2000. Hey, a Moon Knight 2000. I hated myself the second that left my lips. Anyway, he has changed his costume, actually. He has ditched the superhero tights and the cape and the hood for something a little more question-ish, or Sandman Mystery Theater-ish, which, by the way, appeals to me like crazy, so I'm already loving it. Anyway, once we get to meet our cop characters, let's see. Essentially, the case is that there's a slasher in New York City, and he's killing dudes in good shape and stealing parts of their bodies, particularly like muscles and internal organs and stuff like that. He does a couple of quick an examination of the crime scene, and goes to where he thinks the killer made off to, underneath the city, and boom, he was right. It was a former S.H.I.E.L.D. agent who has gone crazy and is hacking up people, stealing parts of their body, and grafting them to himself to make himself a more fit individual. He's completely insane, and his logic seems to make sense to him. Like, these guys are just working out and doing nothing. I'm going to actually do stuff. Let's see. After that, we get a flash to where Mark Spector has been in between series, and that's kind of it. We get a really cool ending scene where he meets this guy. Let's go into the art a little bit. Declan's art is beautiful. I haven't seen his work before, but it has a great realistic style. I love the way he uses Moon Knight's costume, where it's all black and white. The complete absence of color really does kind of separate him. I like. This is probably my favorite page right here, where he's descending further and further underground, and you get to see the different levels here. I like the fact that you see him here, him here, him here. I don't know. I always like that kind of artistic piece. Loved it. This is great. I haven't read Warren Ellis in a while, and it's one of those things where I realized, I haven't read this writer in a while. I should pick up his newest book. And this was fantastic. I totally recommend this. This issue is 5 Ram Chips. Go check it out. Now, speaking of a new number 1, how many new number 1s we got here? Oh, just 2. This is Captain Marvel number 1 by Kelly Sue DeConnick and David Lopez. Let's see. This actually, in a way, this mirrors the previous Captain Marvel number 1 by Kelly Sue DeConnick, in that we get sort of a feeling for Carol Danvers' place that she's currently living in her life, and kind of what she is going to do with herself. In this case, she's still recovering somewhat of having her brain damaged and losing a part of her memory. So she's sort of been rebuilding who she is. She still has her friends from the previous series. Let's see, Tracy, Kit, and all the rest. Matter of fact, Tracy's having a birthday party. And I did not realize that she and Rhodey from Iron Man had been dating. They've been basically keeping it on the down low. But the story actually starts in action where she is deep in space on a mission, apparently. And it looks like it's going wrong. There's an alien that she's trying to make sure is safe. It ends in the flash forward, I guess, ends in a cliffhanger where we don't know if the alien is safe. Go to, let's see, what was it, 6 weeks earlier. That alien actually was crashing on Earth in some kind of missile that Carol rescued. Essentially, she's talking to Tony about going into deep space and representing the Avengers with the Guardians of the Galaxy, which she'll be joining that team very soon. Anyway, we'll be seeing her actually going into space, at least according to this. The plan is for her to go into space for a year. This is just great. The art is beautiful. The action is wonderful. One of the problems I've had with the previous series of Captain Marvel was the art was fairly inconsistent. The artists themselves I thought were really good, but I thought they were too different for the kind of art Captain Marvel series requires. Captain Marvel kind of requires, a clean, mainstream superhero style, and some of the artists who I thought were very good weren't really those kind of artists. And I think they had, as a problem, I think they probably put off some readers who really would have liked the book. This does not have this problem. David Lopez is awesome. Kelly Sue DeConnick's dialogue is just as solid as ever. I always love the touching moments, like between her and Kit in the beginning. Her and Tracy, I think, are a good matchup as friends. And I like the interplay between her and Rhodey. And also Tony Stark. I mean, come on, Iron Man shows up. I mean, that's always good. As usual, what I like what Kelly Sue DeConnick does is the way she puts together a story. After reading her for a couple of years now in Captain Marvel and in Pretty Deadly, I've kind of really appreciated the pacing she puts in her books, and this was excellent work. This is definitely 5 Ram Chips. If you hadn't read the previous series, I think you're fine, actually. I think you can get away with a basic knowledge of the character, maybe even barely any knowledge of the character. I think it serves this character really well. So this is a great jumping on point. Go get it. 5 Ram Chips. Okay, one more from Marvel, and that is All New X-Men number 24, part 5 of The Trial of Jean Grey. Da-da-da-da. Okay, yeah, Jean Grey's in big fucking trouble. This is Brian Michael Bendis, Stuart Eminem, and yeah, Gladiator builds his case, showing exactly what she did as Phoenix, committing genocide, and there's no sugarcoating that. When she was under possession of Phoenix, she committed genocide. She killed billions of people. Anyway, the weird thing is, of course, since this is Jean Grey from her teens, she hasn't done that yet. Although, to these people, she's already done it. I don't know. Time travel is funky. Meanwhile, the X-Men, Guardians of the Galaxy, and the Star Slammers are all trying to rescue her. But she ends up escaping. There's also a really cool sequence of, Angela trashing. Essentially, they're being pursued by the Kree, and Angela tricks them into thinking that she's been, injured. So they take her on board of their spaceship, and of course she decimates them all, and they take over that spaceship and go in under disguise. Wonderful work here. The way Stewart puts together page by page, and just every piece of art in this book is just beautiful to look at. He's definitely becoming one of my favorite artists. Oh, God, what a just perfect issue. And of course it does end with a cliffhanger of Jean making apparently a decision here. This is a good, strong issue. I loved every page of it. Also 5 ramp chips. So far, a pretty good week. Now let's go to Image. And I have Invincible, number 109, by Robert Kirkman and Ryan Oatley. You know, I hadn't realized... Oh, quick explanation what's going on. Let's see. Invincible seems to have been betrayed by one of his friends. So now he's stuck on a parallel universe where he himself was an emperor. And in the previous issue at the cliffhanger was his emperor parallel universe self was killed, as well as one of his enemies, and his friend has betrayed him and left him here. So he has to make a quick change, disguising himself as himself, his evil self. I'm already starting to get confused. When you read it, it makes a lot more sense. So anyway, he has to take the guise of his evil self so he can, get to figuring out how the hell to get home. He has to make a deal in order to do that. And that's pretty much, he's stuck there for weeks until he can actually get out of Dodge. At the same time, he might be sowing the seeds of freeing that universe from his family's evil clutches. By the way, hey, quick shout out to this baby that turns into a gigantic monster. That was quite a couple of pages. Where I didn't know this thing was a monster. I don't know if that's a thing in previous issues. But it's quite disturbing when the baby is, just thrown. This is excellent work, and it's such a funky, almost Silver Age kind of premise, done as gruesome as possible. And I'm thinking, how awesome would this be if Robert Kirkman had done Superman, or at least done the New 52 Superman, or something like that? The stuff he does in this book, I've been reading for now 10 issues now. The stuff he does in this series, I think is like a really darker version of the Silver Age Superbad. And it's just as fun as you might think that is. This is a good, I'd say, solid 4 RAM chips. The art is just beautiful. This is just a good, solid issue. Check it out. Now, let's end with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 32. And this is by Kevin Eastman, Bobby Kernau, Tom Waltz, and Ross Campbell doing the art. This is the last issue of the Northampton. And essentially, Splinter, the Ninja Turtles, April, and Casey have been through hell during the City Falls storyline. And they've been taking a break in the Hamptons with April's family. They've been hiding out in the barn. And they get attacked by, apparently, these ninjas here, these Foot Clans, with an all-new mutant that I've never seen, Korra. I think her name is... She's all new, too. She's actually kind of awesome. She's this kind of hawk-like mutant. I've never seen her. I hope we'll probably get a spotlight so we can learn her history. But, yeah, they blow the shit out of the barn, and April has to... well, when there's explosions, April can't really cover up what's going on anymore, so she has to tell her parents. Meanwhile, she's been sitting on this mutagen she's been sitting on for, I think, 2 issues now, that could cure her dad from his ailment. She's about to break it to her, but of course, all this shit happens. Oh, wow, I love this issue. Michelangelo saves the day. April has to confess to her mom that she knows what's been going on at StockGen. She tells her about the mutagen that she has. She has to introduce the mutants to her family. And it all ends with the guys having to go home to New York, back to action where everything is happening. What a beautiful issue. What a great 4-part story arc. The art by Ross Campbell is just gorgeous. He does these characters so well. The action. What's great about Ross Campbell is, in case you haven't seen his work before, he's wonderful. He has a slightly cartoony mixed with realism in his style. He does like everyday human moments very well and action very well, and he is just an excellent choice for this storyline. I hope he comes back. I really would like to see him playing around in this universe again. The Northampton story arc, 5 Ram Chips, lots of fun. I loved it a lot. There were some really wonderful moments and some character building with Leonardo, Splinter, and I highly recommend this. If you're not buying Ninja Turtles and you like Ninja Turtles, I don't know what the problem is. You should be buying it. I think that's it for now, so push the button, Lindsay.